Melbourne Derby Day number 21 as Melbourne Victory take on Melbourne City in the Ninja A-League. Perfect conditions for football at Amy Park, and the pitch and overhead is looking absolutely spectacular ahead of a hotly anticipated match between two teams winning in the opening round of the season, hoping to put one over their rivals and take a big stride towards dictating the ladder, even at this early stage of the season. Melbourne City edged the bragging rights last campaign. A scoreless draw, it must be said, last time they met. Hopefully, new ideas with a lot of new faces in the two teams for this season. If round one was anything to go by, there will be plenty of goals being scored by both teams. Melbourne City last season's runner-up, losing the grand final. They were premiers, though, as we see on the Isuzu Ute tunnel cam. Taylor Otto, their American centre-back, is wearing the captain's armband today, and Rebecca Stott there walking up, just a little fist bump. The captain of the team still not quite ready to go at the start of the new season, the veteran Kiwi international. So they will be covering for her absence today. And here come Melbourne Victory, led by their goalkeeper, Courtney Newbon. Unfortunately, Lydia Williams out indefinitely with a wrist injury, the veteran former Matilda. So Newbon's got the gloves. As we see a couple of the Victory substitutes scurry up to the bench. The rest of the Victory team will be led out by Kayla Morrison, their American captain, just fixing up the shoelace. One last little piece of preparation before these two teams make their way out onto the surface at Amy Park. Victory themselves made finals last season. They were eliminated via a penalty shootout from the Central Coast Mariners, so they have a couple of extra steps they want to take this season. Melbourne City looking to go one better and win the grand final. They have trophies on their mind on all fronts, including the AFC Champions League. It means they had 3 additional competitive games in pre-season. Maybe that will account for them being a little sharper today, but as we saw in round 1, they fell 2-0 behind to Perth Glory in the opening game, only to come back and win 5-2. Jeff Hopkins, the Melbourne Victory coach, is the last one out of the tunnel. And we're just waiting on our officiating crew now in order to get these two teams out onto the park and get this game underway. It's always a big occasion, the Melbourne Derby, particularly between these two teams. They've had a decade now to build up this rivalry. Melbourne Victory make 2 changes to the starting 11 that defeated Adelaide last weekend. Ellie Wilson, the English player, comes in for a debut, and the first time we've seen the number 6, Beattie Goad, this season. Very good career in Denmark. It was only a month into her career in Turkey before the SOS call came from Melbourne City. So the first Melbourne derby of the Ninja A-League season gets underway. Melbourne Victory kicking off, attacking to the left of your screens, and former Matilda Grace Gill joins me in commentary for this one. Grace, great to see you this afternoon.
Well, great to see you too, Teo. Thank you, and great to be here ahead of what promises to be another entertaining Melbourne derby.
A giveaway, costly from Henry, and then goes and makes amends, and the follow-up from Janchevski. So the first 30 seconds already a sighter on goal.
Well, bright, promising start for Victory on the front foot. And we can see early on in their setup, they've got numbers right on the edge of the 18-yard box, so that's pretty telling as to how they want to approach this fixture.
Elena Mirez, the passing out from the back, real harem-scarum stuff already from Melbourne City. Taylor Otto trying to clear. Wilson comes in, gets her first touch in Victory colours. Back to Claudia Bunge. Now Carly Rostbacken with plenty to think about. Mirez again. The Victory press very aggressive, deep into the penalty area of the opposition team. Melbourne City have got to be more or less perfect here. They can't afford a misplaced pass. Mirez looking for Lourdes Bosch. Ball out to Rostbacken. And now Rihanna Pollicina. Eventually the turnover comes. Grace, what an intense start to the game.
Yeah, fascinating. And I was about to say City had done really well to play out under high pressure. Victory stepping up. Just a little stray touch from Rihanna Pollicina, which you don't often see. It's a high press from Victory, just already causing a couple of problems for the City team.
Rachel Lowe here trying to dispossess Apostolakis, who stood ground and was able to hold on to the ball, but then the pass, this time from Davidson, gives the ball away to Murphy. Janchevski bowled over, advantage given. Beattie Goad to Nikki Flannery. There's a right-footer Flannery, wants the left-sided Goad here, and the return pass was underhit. Riley Henry down in the corner, and Beattie Goad not letting her past. So a first 2 minutes with Melbourne City trying to get a foot on the ball, and Melbourne Victory not giving them any breathing room whatsoever. Riley Henry, who started her Ninja A-League career as a striker, has been recast as a right wing back about halfway through last season and is still in that position today. And Victory will keep the ball in their attacking half. Beattie Goad, first game of the season, currently studying a medical degree, which is splitting her time between football and extensive study. Here's Bunge, now Wilson. Lourdes Bosch putting pressure on, but unable to take the ball. Alex Chidiac, and that's a giveaway of possession. Catherine Harvey tries to play through Pollicina. Kayla Morrison sitting very deep in defence, and that will be a first touch for Victory goalkeeper Courtney Newbon.
A couple of wayward passes from both sides, you'd have to say, under high pressure, looking to win the ball back quickly, but early doors suggest that the intensity and energy this game is going to be played with. Well, we're getting a sense of the instruction from both coaches on the front foot, attacking football, high pressure. We're seeing that either way.
Wilson and Bosch tangling on that occasion. Otto, Harvey, back to the centre of defence. A bobbling ball is awkward to deal with. Mirez has to take preventative measures to clear. Rostbacken. Now Laura Hughes, one of Melbourne City's goal scorers last weekend. And they're away down the left. Harvey looks up at Claudia Bunge. Slides the ball to Pollicina, and the first touch just abandoned her at the key moment. That was a neat move from City, but Pollicina denied by Kayla Morrison.
This is how City like to play. Neat little passes, and to their credit, doing that under high pressure, finding a way through, and if they can break through that first line of a Victory defence, which they did on that occasion, just starts to open up really nicely. But as she so often is, Morrison there to clean up at the back.
Bunge with the clearance. Now Apostolakis, only 18 years old. He's been in the league since she was 15, Alexia Apostolakis. So into her 4th season already, and still so young, but entrusted. Centre of defence. Now look at Elena Mires here, roaming into the midfield third. Very much joining the defence when Melbourne City is in possession and the press isn't on. Rossbacken looking for the run of Bosch. Stuck in a 1-on-2. Rossbacken. Clever from Davidson. Harvey. City remain in possession. Great sidestep from Lourdes Bosch. And now drops the shoulder on Wilson. Still Bosch. And at the near post, Speckmaier sweeps it in. And Melbourne City score first in the derby. And it means the world to the Venezuelan international striker, Mariana Speckmaier. Great play from Bosch. City 1-0.
On the Harvey Norman replay, this comes from the industry from Lourdes Bosch, and look at the work rate, look at the ethic to keep this one alive and just manage to scoop a ball through to Mariana Speckmaier, who times her run really well, just nips in front of her opposition player. But we saw last week what Bosch is capable of. We're seeing again this afternoon, and that is a bright, bright start for Melbourne City.
Speckmaier, newly arrived from the Wellington Phoenix, where she netted 10 times in the Ninja A-League last season. First league goal for Melbourne City was on the score sheet a handful of times in the AFC Champions League group stage last month. The first league goal will mean the world. And Melbourne City set the tone. Victory looking to respond. Janchevsky legged, and Victory immediately have a free kick in a dangerous position.
Well, this would be an important response from Victory. But City, as they like to do, play through lines, play through intricate passes, play out of pressure. Found a way through on goal. But a good delivery here from Alana Murphy, a good ball in. Could set up a really promising attack for Victory.
Emily Gielnik, Kayla Morrison, Claudia Bunge. Plenty of tall targets to aim for here for Alana Murphy, who stands solo over this free kick. Now Victory would love the instant response to going behind. Elena Mires waits in goal. And the free kick is picked off by Laura Hughes, who put herself in exactly the right position. Chidiac. Janchevsky, path blocked, and well, it is the derby. A little bit of unfriendliness there from Laura Hughes. And Janchevsky trying to get her own back.
Just a bit of spice there from Laura Hughes. Just letting Janchevsky know she's there, making herself very well and truly known.
Of course, it's the first Melbourne derby for Alana Janchevsky, having previously played at Perth and Adelaide. She's back in her hometown, the club she grew up supporting, Melbourne Victory. So this will mean as much to her as anyone out there, you would imagine. These games take place from the sidelines as a young spectator, both in the men's and women's. Apostolakis with a good interception. Rossbacken, the quick return ball from Davidson, and now given away. Wilson, Gielnik, Apostolakis once more. Wilson against Bosch. That duel resumes. Again, it's Bosch that gets the points and sends it forward. Harvey has space, can swing it across, doesn't get the elevation to beat Bunge. Second time of asking. Bosch. City happy to retreat back to the centre circle and into their defensive half just to reset matters. Laura Hughes saw an opportunity to take 10 metres, but then ran into a trap that Lowe and Chidiac had set. Great physical play from Davidson. Spilled the ball, and now City have it back. Polisina. Taylor Otto. Incisive pass, Policina between the lines. Looking to bring in Speckmeyer, but the pass a little narrow. The clearance, though, far from convincing. Speckmeyer takes over. At the top of the box, Davidson is unmarked. And Leah Davidson, who has only scored 1 goal in 71 Ninja A-League games, not able to double her tally.
Well, it was originally a really incisive pass that came out of the back from Taylor Otto, cut out 5 Victory players in one fell swoop. This a really nice cutback, great vision from Speckmeyer to pick out Davidson. She's just leaning back on the strike. She'll be disappointed, but nonetheless a good position and another good move from City.
And now Victory hoping to slingshot in the other direction. Janchevsky, not enough bend on the cross to bring Rachel Lowe into play. Mirez out to collect. So a brisk first 10 minutes, a goal already. Melbourne Victory with Gielnik here committing a foul. Certainly looking threatening themselves.
It's interesting watching in the setup. You can see from the shape of Victory, it's really Emily Gielnik working in isolation up the top there, and then a line of Victory players sitting in behind her, just hoping to pick off that second pass. When City do find a way through like they almost have here, they're really effective in cutting out that first line of Victory defence.
Claudia Bunge saw that Harvey was straight onto Bunge there, but Chidiac was the outlet to just relieve a bit of the pressure. New Bond now switching flanks. Speckmeyer up and chasing as the ball goes out. It's a chance to check in at ground level. Neve Owens.
Hello, Teo. It's a gorgeous afternoon and perfect conditions for football here at Amy Park. It's about 18 degrees, no wind this week. Victory, of course, City playing in a strong wind last week. Not much of a crowd in yet, Teo, so hopefully that builds as the afternoon goes on with a doubleheader here at Amy Park. For the City coach, Michael Matriciani, of course, it's his first derby as part of the Ninja A-League, but so far it's Jeff Hopkins in the Victory boss who has been by far the most vocal of the two.
Thank you, Neve. And yes, it is a doubleheader with an Isuzu Ute A-League men's match coming up, but plenty of enthusiastic fans getting in for kickoff of this one, and the crowd should swell through the course of the afternoon. First corner of the game, and Victory take it short. Chidiac has Murphy in support. Murphy, it's shooting range for Murphy, and just a drifter. We heard in pre-game, at least Kellon Knight suggested, Grace, that a couple of the Victory long shot specialists would think about having a pop at Milena Mirez's net. I imagine that won't be the last time we see an attempt from distance.
Yeah, and well, especially when you've got a player with the quality of Alana Murphy. We've seen some of her long-range strikes across her A-League career. And Mira's evidently susceptible from a longer range shot, which we did see last week. I'd certainly be having my eyes up as a player, being aware of her positioning on the line. We've seen, Teo, you pointed it out on a couple of occasions, her playing really high already.
Just enough from Lowe to spill the ball, but then couldn't capitalise, and so Policina takes over, and Lourdes Bosch is going to engage Wilson here, cuts inside, one at the right foot, blocked once and blocked twice. Some half-hearted questions for handball, but referee Georgie Ghirardello right on the scene. Here's Bendigo to play one of the attackers into space, but picked out Briley Henry instead. Mirez. Taylor Otto, the move for City's goal started right here with a pass from Otto out from the back. This time Melbourne Victory are just trying to close the gaps and make it a bit more difficult. The goal scorer Speckmeyer able to make any forward progress. Speckmeyer again. City not afraid to go right back to the last line of defence. Mirez hurried into the pass. Flannery was coming in from the blind side, but the clearance, well, it's almost working out. Wilson able to eventually bring the ball under control. And Newbond's turn to venture outside the penalty area. Bit of backspin on the ball favours Apostolakis. Here is Alexia Apostolakis, finds Rostbacker. Ramirez, as we've identified a couple of times, willing to come out and be that extra defender. Grace, it's very modern in a footballing sense. You've got to be absolutely a goalkeeper that's good with your feet in order to come up and join the defence that far out.
Yeah, and we've seen on a few occasions she's looking to do exactly that, get involved in the play, and what it does for City is overload their midfield. They can send an extra number in.
A slip here, Davidson. Speckmeyer's got one, and now hits the post. Flush off the woodwork. That was nearly two for Speckmeyer, and another well-worked passing move from Melbourne City to find a free attacker in the box.
And again, came from that build-up play. A nice little ball. Wasn't dealt with at the back by Victory, but again, great vision shown in the cutback from Leah Davidson. Speckmeyer takes a quick touch and gets the shot away. And really, it was Victory who were quicker to react with the second ball off the post. City players will need to be flying through to try and find that follow-up. The ball now deflects out. Well, Mariana Speckmeyer hadn't scored since round 16 of last season. The goals just dried up a little bit at the back end of the campaign for the Wellington Phoenix. But she did get to double figures in her first season in the Ninja A League. I know that once she gets a bit of momentum up, she can be a very dangerous forward, Grace. So Melbourne Victory well and truly on notice about Speckmeyer today. Yeah, she's busied herself already, Mariana Speckmeyer. Looking to get involved in play. She's a good physical stature. Doesn't mind getting stuck into a challenge as well.
It's interesting, barely a minute earlier, we'd seen her down almost in the right back corner helping City play out. So there's also that element of backing herself to have the endurance to run from midfield and get into a goal-scoring position rather than getting caught, really, one pass behind the plate. Right on cue, helping out in defence, right at the opposite end of the pitch. As Beatty Goad wheels back to Alani Anchevsky. Victory's turn to try and manufacture a shot on goal. They have to retreat initially. Bunge, direct up the middle, hoping for Emily Gielnik. Gielnik trying to use her strength against Briley Henry, and lands. And the referee immediately points to the penalty spot. Victory will get their chance at an equaliser.
Yeah, Georgia Ghirardello, referee, didn't need too long to look at that one. And this, due to the hard work, the relentlessness of Emily Gielnik, didn't give up on the opportunity. She's well and truly onside. Back to goal, and just hurries, pushes Briley Henry towards the byline. Little clip at the heels. No doubt not intentional, but it doesn't matter in that area, that part of the field. You see here, Briley just poke the leg out and catch the back of the Gielnik heel there.
Does Henry have a case that Gielnik may have fouled her before the ankle tap?
I think pretty physical battle either way, both players trying to hold their own ground.
There's a graph of Emily Gielnik's last 6 penalties. Only the one unsuccessful and a pretty good mix. So the homework might make it difficult. Melina Mirez, a chance to really stamp her authority on these #1 gloves for Melbourne City. Can she keep her team in the lead? M. Gielnik, plenty of time to think about this spot kick. 56 career goals over the course of her Ninja A-League career. And true from the penalty spot here. Career goal number 57 and 3 for the season for M. Gielnik brings the victory level.
And this is what Emily Gielnik is capable of. On the Harvey Norman replay, we have a look again. Great physicality, great industry to get herself into a good position. And she sets this moment up for herself. It's a confident penalty, it's a cool penalty, and it's a 3rd of the season for Emily Gielnik.
They went behind for long. and this derby is off to a bit of a flyer here. City with a well-worked goal, Melbourne victory. Off the back of the strength and presence of Emily Gielnik to win and then convert a penalty. Brings this game level at 1-1. And now victory with momentum behind them, trying to rush from kickoff. Davidson calming things down for City. Harvey, Policina. Now Briley Henry. Ross Backen. Late pass from Bosch, but then the next pass from Ross Backen only finds Bunge. Wilson with a deflection. Will be a victory throw.
Well, that Wilson-Bosch battle is starting to shape up really nicely. The English defender lining up against the Mexican striker as well. They've both looked like a lot of fun to watch so far.
Foul here given away by Rachel Lowe. Coming off a 12-goal season last campaign, Lowe. One of many attacking threats that Victory have. City want to take this free kick short, but the only option is backwards. Kostelakis now. Otto. Hughes. And Henry out to Speckmeyer, has got Morrison for company. Morrison just took the ball and held her ground and was able to hold off Speckmeyer, but the pass is a quick turnover straight back to City. Mirez here directing traffic, asking for Hughes to come up and receive the ball short. Now Otto. The slip has got the crowd interested, but Taylor Otto isn't going to cough up possession. Policina, just a little chip and charge down the line, and it's still in, still rolling, and live at the feet of Morrison. And Policina is right back on her case. We had a perfect view there of a little chop of the ankles, giving away a free kick.
The hands in the back from Policina. Taylor Morrison is really composed on the ball, just uses her body well. It's her body between her opposition and the ball, but a little too much there on that occasion from Policina.
7 fouls already, no cards. It is a derby, of course. We see a long ball here, and Mirez knew exactly where the limit of the penalty area was to grab the ball away from Beattie Go. So we're about a quarter of the way through the afternoon's action. And we're no closer to working out who's on top here in this Melbourne derby, because the momentum has swung, and right now it's Victory's turn, and nearly Flannery playing through Chidiac.
Yeah, that's a risk in playing out short. When it works well for this City side. If you don't quite get it right, and it's good pressure shown on that occasion by Alex Chidiac, just to pick the pocket, almost create a little half chance for Victory.
Davidson has got Chidiac right on her case. Just ran out of real estate against the line there, Leah Davidson. So Victory march a number of players up the pitch. Morrison right up the middle. Murphy caught in possession, and City can counter-attack at speed. Harvey, well played by Murphy to get back and create a presence. Caused a turnover. City were almost away there, but Murphy was keen to make amends.
Slight difference in shape for City in their defensive structure, just allowing Victory to have those first couple of passes at the back. Direct ball over the top here, though.
And the offside flag goes up for the first time today.
Yeah, and that's something we've seen, not the offside, but the directness from the back of Victory. It's largely due in part to the shape from City. They're setting up compact, not allowing an easy pass through the middle. So whether it's Morrison or Bunge looking for that direct ball to find Gielnik, who's running off the shoulder of her defender well. Didn't quite get the timing right on that occasion.
Melbourne City, you got a great look at where the lines are and who's making space to try and pick a pass. Newbon telegraphed the distribution. Wilson knew exactly where it was going, but was able to keep it away from Bosch. But it's a reset and try again. So this time Victory, well, they don't like the look of the left flank either. Harvey's going to press all the way to the keeper here. Chidiac, cool head in a crisis. City really picked their moment when to go, but Chidiac had the answers, and now Victory can exploit some space. Wilson trying to work through the gears, not able to beat Ross back and with the pass.
Wilson hasn't quite been able to invite Nikki Flannery into the play in the way I'm sure she would have liked to. She's a real live wire when she gets going in a bit of space, Flannery. Just hasn't seen too much of the ball in this opening 25 minutes or so.
Apostolakis. City have got numbers over on the right. Leave it, the cry. Briley Henry, the right back, venturing forward, but Polisina left the scene, and so City reset again. What do they like on the left? Lourdes Bosch is going to go for the early ball here. Finds Speckmeyer initially. Difficult ball to bring under control, though. Third time lucky. They've probed both flanks on this phase of play. Melbourne City been repelled on each occasion. Now up the middle they try. This time it's Alana Murphy in the right spot for Victory. The ball is eventually blocked out for a throw. There's the possession stats. Not a surprise that Melbourne City are at 58%. They want to be the ball-dominant team, but Melbourne Victory have definitely had a feel for the game as well. Morrison here, dashing up to the halfway line, trying to go direct for Gielnik. Otto, positioning was good. Then has afforded the space to U-turn and assess what's going on up the field. Polisina, Hughes now. Murphy comes through. Beatty go. Low and Gielnik ahead of the ball. Go doesn't quite get the lift on the cross.
Well, it's interesting from the back. Victory haven't really looked to play through the midfield rather just yet. They've got the likes of Alex Chidiac, of course, Rachel Lowe, both great ball players. They've been marshalled well by that City midfield.
Given away here, and the whistle comes to City's aid. Alana Janchevski committing a foul, and there's real concern from the Melbourne City players. Taylor Otto immediately in distress. And this is a major, major concern. The trainer is out off the bench immediately, and the doctor is coming as well. Alana Janchevski is apologetic, but Grace, talk us through what happened.
Interesting to have another look at this one. Awkward on the ball from Taylor Otto. It's just that dragging off her right leg. You can see gets stuck underneath and perhaps jams her knee up. I don't think there's much in the challenge, to be fair, from Janchevski. She's met the ball equally, but it's just that right foot of Otto that got caught underneath her, and she's picked up a yellow card for that.
So first card of the game. Janchevski protesting as she goes over to the Victory bench. Taylor Otto continues to be assessed, and well, we saw her leg get trapped, whether it's knee or it's ankle. It's that initial shock and just a spike of pain that would have run through the body.
Yeah, definitely a shock to the system, and she's not the kind of player that goes down easily, but you can see the coming together. The tackle is quite fair. It's just that awkward fall, and she clutches at the right knee, which is a bit of a concern. Just got hooked into the grass underneath her, and she couldn't quite get her leg out of the way, which is so important at the back for City.
Let's get a sideline perspective on this. Neve Owens and Elise Kellogg-Knight.
Yeah, we can see Taylor Otto just walking, thankfully, off the field now. How did you see that one, KK?
Yeah, that was a hard call. I mean, we know I'm victory biased here, but I actually think that was probably a fair challenge. I think that's really harsh that Alana's walked away with the yellow card there, and Victory missed out on a really great scoring opportunity. I think Otto had a really poor touch there and lunged into the challenge, and it was fair game for Alana to go for that ball, and it wasn't a foul at all in my eyes.
Taylor Otto testing out that knee now. You could see, you spotted it, Taylor got caught under her body, and she's just doing some assessments here on the sideline with the physio now to see whether she'll be okay to return to the action.
Well, a couple of smiles and a few laughs, so hopefully that is a good sign that she's passed the fitness test and the assessment from the physio. There's a replay of the yellow card being given. Alana Janchevski's a very expressive player, Grace. Never hides her emotions when she's out on the ground.
Well, fairly so on that one too. I hope Taylor Otto is okay to continue, but yep, Alana Janchevski a little hard done by with that.
So we'll have to watch her step regardless. In the book, referee's decision is final. No VAR in the Ninja A-League. And as we've ticked over the half-hour mark, we will have a little bit of stoppage tagged on at the end of the first half. Otto hasn't left the pitch, obviously, with Janchevski being booked. You don't have to wait for the fourth official to wave you back on if your opponent receives a booking and then you need treatment. The defending will be the next order of business as Flannery challenges Apostolakis. Bosch immediately under pressure from Murphy and Chidiac. Squeeze the ball back to Hughes. And now Otto, first touch of the ball since picking up the knock, and is moving well. Sends the ball out to the right for Briley Henry. She's floored and fouled again there, Otto, and City will argue they didn't get to take their advantage, but the moment is lost.
Nonetheless, good to see Otto back out on the field. The referee's going to have a little chat here with Rachel Lowe and Laura Hughes, who just getting a bit shirty in the middle of the park.
We saw Hughes trying to set the tone with the push and shove earlier in the game. Thumbs up may have said one thing, but I think the mouth was saying another. Time to focus the action right back on the ball. And straight away, Hughes is in, challenging Beattie Go. Gilnick. And Otto back to Mires. Flannery pressing in earnest. And City hold their nerve and are able to play through the press. Janchevski. Gilnick is just going to shoot on sight here, Gilnick. And that can be the double-edged sword of a goalkeeper you want to test from distance, that sometimes you might only have tunnel vision for shooting rather than assessing your options.
Either which way, Gilnick on that occasion, not quite getting the execution right. But for sure, you don't want to become too predictable in your approach to a goalkeeper.
Hughes' pass sets a very difficult task for Apostolakis, but she is able at least to protect the ball and roll Flannery to win a throw.
It's great to see Apostolakis really grow in confidence as a young player. We know she's a wonderful leader was for the young Matildas. But she's looking more commanding out there, looking more confident, looking more like she's directing traffic. Still such a young head on her shoulders at just 18 years old, but plays with a level of confidence that's really great to see.
Janchevski caught in possession here by Speckmeyer, and Speckmeyer gets the better of Morrison. Mariana Speckmeyer has got Bosch calling for the ball on one flank and Harvey on the other, but ultimately got caught in possession. The attack not done with yet. Policina puts it at chest level for Courtney Newbon to catch.
Ultimately, a disappointing outcome to what was an enterprising run from Mariana Speckmeyer. She had to her left, she had to her right, and she had to release a pass. Had attracted the attention of 2-3 Victory defenders. Needs to have the vision and awareness just to release a teammate in that moment.
And at the other end, Beattie Goad might be away from Speckmeyer, just doesn't get enough juice on the cross. Gilnick was barreling forward in the middle. The ball just didn't get there. Otto. Bosch starting very deep this time. Ross Backen. confident to go back into the penalty area. Otto, Policina does well to turn Bunge, and Bunge will do very well to avoid a card here. George Ghirardello reaches for the pocket, and that is 2 Victory players now in the referee's book.
After what was a really lovely little shift of weight, look at this, the drop of the shoulder from Policina, and you know, in that position when you're pulling on the shirt of a player who's escaped you, you know exactly what you're walking into.
In your own attacking half though, Grace, I mean, sometimes it's instinctive. You think, I've been beaten, the counter-attack's on, you commit the foul. How difficult is it to turn those instincts off and realise that you might have covering defenders back and you don't need to commit a yellow card challenge that far away from the opposition goal?
Oh, that's exactly it. Plenty of Victory shirts were still behind to help Bunge recover from that situation. A little tug, if you release quickly enough, then perhaps the referee doesn't produce the yellow, but on that occasion, Claudia Bunge holding on to the shirt a few moments too long.
So now another Victory player that will have to watch their step. Kostelakis waiting for the right pass to appear and gets caught from the blind side by Gilnick. Low, Chidiac and Hughes, who has brought plenty of competitive aggression to this game. Shows a bit of sportsmanship there to go and apologise to Alex Chidiac.
So the contact just through the back of the leg there, Laura Hughes. It's probably just towing a fine line at the moment. There's been a few challenges. Quick to apologise, but still just have to be careful.
Chidiac back up and running. Low. Wilson. Now Flannery. Just scoops the pass down the line. We get to see Nikki Flannery's real strength, which is breaking into space. We've seen it a few times for Beattie Goat on the opposite wing, but City have been able to keep Victory from really replicating that on the right-hand side.
Yeah, to be fair, she's been marshalled really well by both Bosch and Rossbacken. And after what was a really strong season last year with Canberra for Nikki Flannery, she's best with a bit of open space and really quick, loves to get forward and look for an early ball into the box.
Now the duel starts back over on the left side. Henry sending the ball to the line. Beattie Goat here to throw it in. One of about 7 or 8 players to have played in the Melbourne Derby for both teams. Beattie Goat. It's not a long list of players that have crossed the divide. Of course, Melbourne Victory were a one-team town until 2015 when Melbourne City came in. Mirez, the press from Gilnick arrives late. Hughes is able to turn and face. Apostolakis and Wilson now. City looking to break the lines, but throw here engages Murphy, and Murphy's done well to protect the ball. Really clever. Finds Morrison with the pass. Now Kayla Morrison's off and running, the centre-back marauding forward. Sends it out to the right. Here is Flannery into open space. Trying to show her speed. Lifts it across. And Mirez makes a good catch. But we were calling for it, Grace. And for the first time, really, we get to see Nikki Flannery on the burst.
That's what she does really well. Nice delivery through the lines from Kayla Morrison. Nikki Flannery striding out. First time cross into the box. Perhaps with a little bit more pressure on Mirez. That makes it more difficult at the back there.
Of course, that duel. Flannery on the right side and Rossbacken at left back. Those two were teenagers debuting for Canberra United almost a decade ago now. Find themselves on opposite sides of the Melbourne divide as a foul here gives Victory a free kick up near the halfway line. Alex Chidiac no stranger to drawing fouls and close attention. 11 total fouls in the game, 5 minutes of regulation plus stoppage until half-time. Victory very patient at the moment, and now City going to press right up to Courtney Newbon. Murphy. Janchevsky. And as players tumble out of the way, possession is taken over by Melbourne City. Well, they were just out of ideas a little bit on that phase of play there, Victory.
That too, in the defensive shape of City was just really disciplined. In that rest defence, they're setting up more or less as a 4-4-2 and just blocking up the passages and making things hard for Victory to play through. And that's where, for the Victory team, they need a little bit more proactive movement.
Low, clever pass. Flannery, take two on the cross. First time again. Janchevsky! Alana Janchevsky! A dream come true for the girl that grew up supporting Melbourne Victory. Victory take the lead in the derby. And after trailing early, they are on track to lead at the break, 2-1.
Well, it's a beautiful team goal for Victory. As Nikki Flannery on the Harvey Norman replay has really come alive in the last couple of minutes. Picked in the middle of the park, and a beautiful threaded pass through. Once more, Nikki Flannery, first-time ball, cuts back, finds the run of Janchevsky, who arrives to perfection. You see the little glance up from Flannery, and the delivery had to be right, as did the timing, and it was spot on.
You wouldn't know it's a non-preferred foot, Grace. That is a great finish on her right side.
Really nice goal from Victory there. A couple of moments of individual talent, but coming together for a lovely team finish.
Janchevsky scored 5 goals across her time at Perth Glory, just the one at Adelaide last season, and now one in Melbourne Victory colours. And they lead in the derby. The 21-year-old back at her hometown club has put them in the lead. And Melbourne City, the gauntlet is now thrown down to them, Grace, because as good as they have looked at times in this half, Melbourne Victory have had the finishing touch.
It's part of Flannery's game that was really special last season. Those crosses into the box last year for one Michelle Heyman on a platter. Well, Janchevsky didn't mind that one at all.
And the mid-range free kick will allow City to attack the penalty area. Hughes this time on the receiving end. Some physical attention. Alex Chidiac finally getting one back.
Turns in favour. Chidiac back through the legs of, on that occasion, Hughes. Good area for a free kick. Seen year on year, Rihanna Pollicino is very good from these set pieces.
So 2 in the wall. The likes of Taylor Otto, Ariana Speckmeyer, and the Mosquito fleet to aim for. Pollicino drifts it in. First touch, Janchevsky, and the follow-up from Apostolakis needs a very good save from Courtney Newbon. And even though there was plenty in the penalty area to distract, Newbon had a clean sight at that shot.
Well, it was Janchevsky who got the first touch to clear to a dangerous area. They're just on top of the 18-yard box. Apostolakis there.
Killer ball from Janchevsky. Gilnick couldn't quite meet it onside. Well, it looked promising off the boot.
Yeah, and I love that vision from Alana Janchevsky on her preferred left foot. That early ball through around the back of the City defence is a really tough one to deal with. That's the exact kind of delivery that Gilnick will be looking for. She's just drifted into an offside position, we can see there, but nonetheless, that direct play, the direct nature of the pass, that's going to cause City a few headaches.
So about to find out how many minutes of stoppage at the end of the first half. We did have the delay for Taylor Otto receiving treatment. Enough time perhaps for Melbourne City to try and restore parity. Having led themselves, they will now have 5 additional minutes to chase the game before the break. Very compressed game at the moment. Victory defensive line just dropping and dropping. Perhaps anticipating a long pass was coming, and indeed it did. Morrison keeps the ball away from Harvey. Beattie Goat's done very well to keep the ball in, but then the pass lets the door ajar for City. Hughes to ground once, trying to cut it back. A sea of legs to contend with, and Alana Murphy, no nonsense, to clear the ball away.
Well, she had a bit of mop-up work to do there, Alana Murphy. So she was just a little slow to react to receive the first pass that meant City could pinch the ball.
Chidiac sets Gilnick a task. Otto first to the ball. Mirez receives the back pass, and that is a confident first-time clearance. Someone's brought a bubble machine here to Amy Park. There's a rogue West Ham fan in the crowd. There's bubbles everywhere. Speckmeyer plays the ball back to Briley Henry. Now Ross Backen. Bit of rough and tumble off the ball between Janchevsky and Henry as the right back tries to break forward. Policina, Murphy, and the referee intervenes and says too much from Policina.
There's been a few of those challenges in the midfield. On either side, a player almost gets themselves into a bit of a knot. Either loses possession or loses their 1v1 battle and then retaliates with a foul.
Morrison is going to square this pass away to Bunge. Trying to direct traffic for a long ball here, Morrison. But didn't quite get the radar right. Otto. Harvey, a little too slick, but back in on Bunge to spill possession to Policina. Policina's advancing. Bosch, not on the same wavelength, was cutting towards the penalty area when Policina wanted one back towards the middle. Flannery, and trying to thread through Gielnik, overhit the pass. Grace, assuming that City don't grab an equaliser before half-time, what do you anticipate Michael Matriciani's half-time team talk will be? We'll come back to it, because it might be from a 3-1 deficit. Gielnik waits for the run of Flannery, telegraphed the pass, and that allowed Ross Backen to get across and boot it away. And I mentioned that they were teammates in Canberra, so, you know, they might be rivals today, but they still have a great appreciation for the challenge of playing against one another.
You can see there's some good sportsmanship between the two. Ross Backen had to be alert to the danger the ball through. Presented a difficult one, but she tracked it well. I think really for City, it's a situation that we see so often play out where they've had the majority, the lion's share of possession. But for Victory in their moments, they've been more clinical. 2 shots on target, 2 goals in the back of the net for Victory, and that says it all.
They still might have time for an equaliser here before the break. Harvey tried to go direct straight at Morrison. And a follow-up from Morrison, and the referee is going to produce a 3rd yellow card. Both of Victory's centre-backs are in the book. And Morrison, well, was committed to the ball, and maybe the replay will tell us if she's a little unfortunate with the follow-through.
Just misses the ball, and the stud slightly raised. I think it's really, it's a timing piece there. For referee Georgia Ghirardello presents a yellow card. But with both centre halves now nursing a yellow in this first half, there's little room for error.
And now with 30 seconds or so until the break, one last set-piece opportunity for Melbourne City to try and go in level at the break. Lots of discussion going on. 2 in the wall. It's a long way out for a direct shot, but something is being planned here. Bosch makes a run. Must have nicked the ball because Polisena took it and dribbled. And now Apostolakis. Stoppage time is up. And daring the referee to blow for half-time here. And I think the controversy is over Polisena taking the ball and just dribbling. Now, I didn't know or see if someone took a little touch before Polisena went in and dribbled the ball away.
Well, I was baffled because it didn't look like there was a touch. I think the play would have been for a touch to be intended because obviously Polisena can't just take the ball and dribble from that set-piece position.
Well beyond the 5 additional minutes, and now Mirez, Gilnick was looming but just booted the ball away to safety. And now the referee has seen enough. That will be halftime, so a little you be the ref moment of confusion right on the break. But what really matters is the scoreline. Emily Gilnick's penalty cancelled out Mariana Speckmeyer's opener, and then a first Melbourne victory goal for 21-year-old Alana Janchevski. There are your 2 victory goal scorers. They lead in the derby. It's been an entertaining one so far. Speckmeyer gave City the lead, but they're the ones that need to come up with the answers. Because at halftime, it's Melbourne victory 2, Melbourne City 1. Stay with us. Halftime show on the other side of this short break.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow.
Well, after recently announcing the retirement from professional football, here's the wonderful to celebrate a legend of Australian football, at least another night. She presented with his special frame by Rebecca Scott and Lydia Williams here. This Caroline, of course, played 11 matches for Melbourne City, 29 matches for Melbourne Victory, and 116 appearances for the Matildas. Have a look at this wonderful frame. The West Caroline is being presented down here on the pitch by Rebecca Scott and Lydia Williams. We can hold on to that one. And I'll jump in here, thanks ladies. So fantastic to have this announcement and a chance to celebrate here today. Elise, how's it been? It's been a few weeks since I've been public.
Yeah, I'm still here, aren't I? Can't get rid of me yet.
And how are you enjoying your time post-professional career here in the broadcast? What else is happening?
Yeah, it's busy. I wish there were 8 days a week, so definitely not bored. I don't actually feel like I'm retired, to be honest.
And since your time starting in professional football across those many league seasons, of course, you've seen the women's game progress so far. How does it feel now when reflecting back to some of those early days and how far the game has come from the women's side?
Yeah, I just have to look at one of these pictures here on the frame and back to Brisbane Raw days and get to wear these kind of shorts that were kind of like rugby shorts. Do you remember them? Let's see if you but the game's come so far, just to be here in a big stadium, so broadcast and everything, we've still got so far.
Certainly, and when you tip out, the rest of this one's going to play out Victory in a good position here, 2-1. How do you think it'll go from there?
I already picked 3-1 in 3 games, so I just got to stick to that.
You're on the right way. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for KK, Elise Caroline. Spectators must comply with the future A-League winning terms of admission.
Welcome back to Amy Park, where we've seen a few legends of the game doing a very special presentation to Elise Kellon-Knight at halftime. Melbourne Victory goalkeeper Lydia Williams is there. Rebecca Stott, the skipper for Melbourne City, is alongside her with a special presentation to KK, who has just recently retired from professional football. She played for City formerly. She made her debut for Brisbane, spent the last 2 seasons of her A-Leagues career right here with Melbourne Victory, and she's just made her way back from the centre of the park to join us for the Hungry Jacks halftime show. Hello, I'm Neve Owens, alongside Elise Kellon-Knight, who has just been presented with this really special gift at halftime. KK, you had a couple of legends of the game alongside you there. 115 caps for the Matildas. Spent your last 2 seasons here with Melbourne Victory. How special is a moment like that?
Yeah, I didn't realise the irony of today, really, to have all 3 clubs that I played for here in Amy Stadium today. So it's a really special occasion that it all worked out like this, and it's great to be honoured at such a spectacle like today.
You've shown, despite those 3 clubs and the history that you have in Australian football, where your allegiances lie with your Navy shirt today, and it is KK's Melbourne Victory side with a 2-1 lead at halftime as we check out these Harvey Norman highlights. But it didn't go all Victory's way, and it was a player you identified in the pre-game, KK, as being super dangerous, who started this.
Yeah, I like the look of Bosch. I think she's got some great potential. I think in her first game of the season, she probably didn't have the space that she's been allowed today, and the spaces were closed off. But today she's been able to show how dangerous and great she is at dribbling, and she's really dynamic, and City have locked her in for 2 seasons, so she's just going to get better.
Speckmeyer scored the goal in the end across from Nix this season. She's had a really happy start to her City career, but I loved this moment as well. Em Gilnick, a big body, and she really used that physicality in the box.
Yeah, it really came out of nothing. I mean, Victory played a long ball, which is, they've been very direct in this first half, and being able to find Em, use her presence up front, and it was just such a clumsy challenge by Henry. She's going to regret that one, but slotted away quite comfortably, and we went into a 1-1 draw, and it was getting pretty tasty until we had a moment of brilliance from 2 new signings this season. It was such a classy goal. I think Flannery's crossing game is all-star. Like, I just love the way that she's able to pinpoint people in the box, and Janchevsky's finish here was absolute class on a non-dominant foot.
Lovely to see Janchevsky looming there in the middle. She copped a yellow card in the first half that she thought was a little harsh, and she has been well up for what has been a really fiery contest.
Yeah, it's been really physical. I mean, we've been down here on the sideline and seeing those challenges and hearing the body contact. These 2 teams are up for it, and as we can see, as expected, Melbourne City dominating possession, but that's no problem for Victory. They're happy to have it that way. But as you can see, shots on goal, equal. I actually thought Victory had less shots, but here we are, 5-5. Shots on target, pretty equal as well, and I think going into this second half, it's an open game. It's whoever wants to take it.
Plenty to play for here at Amy Park in this Melbourne derby. Time for a quick break on the Hungry Jacks halftime show. On the other side, we'll be joined by the skipper of Melbourne City, Rebecca Stott, and a little bit later today on Football Tonight with Tara and the team, a very special guest, Max Rushton, will be in the studio. We're back with Stotty on the other side of this break.
Score any goals? Most of them always score goals. Now, it's about to do football. You played for soccer outside of your own region out there in the club community. Williams clearly does her best work. Now, Kirby, have a favourite football player in the whole world? You ever seen him play in real life? On the television. That's the right way to do it. Are you a Melbourne Victory fan? You feeling pretty good about it? They're winning 2-1. You enjoyed the game so far? Looking forward to the second half? I bet you are. Melbourne Victory score another goal? You going to play for Melbourne Victory today? She's pretty confident. We love it there. Thanks for coming along, having some fun. Say go Victory.
Hi, I'm putting you on and my friends have the second black player chair to Captain Food and Maxim Mills. Partnership between Second Black Player Share and Melbourne Victory is super important for not only us but everyone around the world who's going through the cost of living crisis. It's true, it's such a big thing now.
Welcome back to Amy Park. It is the home side Melbourne Victory leading the derby at half-time, 2-1. A really special guest joining us, the first women's player to bring up 100 appearances for Melbourne City. It is the City skipper, Rebecca Stott. Stotty, great to see you. Let's start with the bad stuff and the injury and the reason why you're not out there playing in the derby today. Where are you at? How's the recovery going?
Yeah, I just strained the hammy a little bit. I'm not far off, which is good. I'm just not very good at being injured, so I can't wait to be back out there with the girls.
100 games. I didn't realise you're so old, Stoddy. But I'm curious about the new coach. So Matt Tritriani, that we've watched on the sideline, he's got quite a calm demeanour about him. A little bit different to maybe a Dario Vidicic of last season. What are the main differences that you've found?
Yeah, absolutely. They're very different. Football-wise, we're still kind of trying to play the same style, the City style. But Michael's very calm on the bench, and he's always behind us and focusing on what's next. If we do stuff up, it's let's react and have a strong mentality for our reaction. That would be the difference. But Dario, missed the guy. He's great.
Yeah, he's killing it over at Brighton.
Killing it.
Yeah. We just saw that presentation from last week a moment ago, Stotty. We know you'll be back out there with the girls shortly. They're down a goal heading into the second half. What do you think needs to change to get the win in the derby?
We've created some quality chances. I think we need to finish those ones off and hopefully create a few more and then just tighten it up a little bit in the box.
You two are already on fisticuffs here on the sideline with the microphone, so it is time to take it back to the field. It is time for the second half here at Amy Park. On the other side of this very quick break, you'll have your commentary team, Teo Palazzeri and Grace Gill, with kickoff just a minute away.
Welcome back to live pictures from Amy Park. There is the go-ahead goal scorer, Alana Janchevsky. Her first goal in victory colours. The difference between the teams, they lead Derby number 21 2-1 at the break. It's the first time that both teams have scored in a Melbourne derby since that epic 3-all elimination final back in 2023. Melbourne Victory went on to win on penalties that day. Today, it'll be sorted within the 90. The question is, do Melbourne City have a big response? They were behind in round one against the Perth Glory, came back to win. Will it be a similar story here in the derby as we get the second half underway? With Melbourne City probing long out to the flank and Briley Henry looking for the attack straight from kickoff. Kayla Morrison clears away. And Grace Gill, as you rejoin me, that comeback last week means that regardless of how deep in this game we get, we know that Melbourne City have a flurry of goals potentially in.
Yeah, they're certainly capable. They're a team that have some really quality goal scorers. Policina, of course, one who stood up time and time again for her side across her A-League career. We saw the introduction as well of Harvey, who came off the bench last week, has started today's game, hasn't quite got on the ball as much as I think you want a striker and an international player to do so.
And on the sideline, Neve Owens currently has a special guest for us. Neve?
Teo, thank you. I've got the assistant coach of Melbourne Victory, Gareth Turnbull, here. Gareth, what was Jeff's message at half-time?
Look, it's a derby, right? So we're probably losing the physical edge at the minute, so we've got to be better in those areas. Our distance is probably not quite as tight as we would like, and you do that against a good City team, they're going to slowly pick you off. So, yeah, a little bit more on the front foot, both defensively and aggression-wise. It
felt really physical, quite niggly in the first half. How important is that late goal, taking that lead into the break?
Yeah, I think we didn't start well. Credit to City, they kind of brought the game to us. We started to match them, and then our qualities, we feel we've got some real qualities in the final third. So we just got to get the ball to those guys a little bit more often, and 2 goals is justice.
Thanks for having a chat with us.
Cheers.
Thank you to Gareth Turnbull there joining Neve Owens. Bit of insight from the Victory camp. Straight back out of the rooms after half-time. And at the moment, they are looking to hunt a third. Grace, interesting that the feedback there at half-time was that Victory felt that they were a step off in the physical stakes, especially given they're the team that's picked up 3 yellow cards in the first half.
Perhaps that's just down to winning battles in the midfield. But I can't imagine at this point City would be panicking as such. I mean, in their game last week against Perth, all 5 goals came in the second half. So they're a team capable of scoring. They're a team capable of keeping their cool when the heat is on, and there'll be some pressure as these minutes tick away.
Goat did well to keep possession under the challenge of Davidson. Advantage given for the late contact, but Victory not really making the most of that advantage, and now the whistle goes again. And Beattie Goad, well, much to the frustration of Laura Hughes, he's going to have a free kick.
I don't think she's got too much to argue about there. It's not the second one where she does get the ball, but that first little clip around the leg of Beattie Goad is what Hughes has been pulled up for.
So the restart. Bunge to Wilson. And now Flannery. Described by Elise Kellon-Knight as having all-star crossing ability in that first half, and it really was a great assist to thread the ball through for Janczewski, and that is the difference between the two teams. Newbon hurried into a clearance. And as the ball sails out, Grace, neither team made a substitution at half-time. Do you have one in mind for either team, maybe in the next 5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if we see a sub from City in the next 5 or so. Whether that's for the first time this season and in City colours. Amelia Murray, a really promising young player, but has some really difficult injuries.
Well, the flag, I think, might have stayed down for Lowe there. Sometimes you've just got to play to the whistle, and if the referee raises the flag, so be it. But Melbourne City will be grateful she didn't go herring after that diagonal ball. And, sorry, Grace, I interrupted you there. Any other subs in mind?
Well, as much as I'd like to see Murray with a few minutes, I imagine it would be a player the likes of Letitia McKenna, who might come on first for City. She did start last week in the game against Perth, and maybe she'd be a swap for Harvey.
Gielnik with a long shot. Otto shouts for handball. It was outside the penalty area, and Gielnik gesturing to the referee that she felt as though the arm was in an unnatural position, but the moment passes without the whistle going. And then Murphy's pass here gives possession away.
This is a look at the challenge. It's just hit that elbow of Taylor Otto.
Well, Gielnik made the case. The referee didn't agree. It would have been a free kick and not a penalty, of course. 5 minutes gone in the second half. No change to the halftime score. We've mentioned the yellow cards. Janczewski, Morrison and Bunge all picking up a booking in the first half for Melbourne Victory. Here's Gielnik now. Bosch able to shark possession. Hughes, neat side step on Murphy, and now Bosch is away. Lourdes Bosch able to jink past Wilson and break towards the box, and the cross is met by the head of Speckmaier, but not with enough force to steer it back towards the target.
Well, the thumbs up from Speckmaier is right. A really handy little partnership developing between Bosch and Speckmaier. After some good work in the midfield from Laura Hughes, very technical, just tidies up. But this has the confidence to back herself. Bosch gets the eyes up, and the delivery is right. Speckmaier just can't quite get over the top of the header. That's the kind of danger City can present.
Gielnik playing the target striker role back to goal, protected the fall and distributed to Lowe. Now Wilson, Flannery. As the ball goes out, Lourdes Bosch, a fascinating case. There are 2 professional leagues in the United States now, but she went undrafted out of college. And Melbourne City with a building record of identifying American players that go undrafted and shaping them into really top-end players. Flannery's away for victory here. The cutback, Gilnick's second to the ball. Apostolakis was well placed. And the whistle goes for offside in any case.
A little knowing look there from Flannery, but that's a tough decision to make there. She found herself in a really good position, Flannery. That was the moment there. Yep, good decision by the assistant referee. But here, which pass to make? The first time ball across just in front of the 6-yard box, perhaps for the run of Janchevski. There was a lot of City shirts behind, had good numbers to defend.
Third offside of the game for victory. Gilnick trapped offside twice in the first half. And Chidiac here is legged by Harvey, midfield free kick. Harvey not prominently involved in the first half and just really trying to find a way into the game.
Yeah, just the 6 touches in the first half for Harvey.
Janchevski is able to win a corner. Looks as though Speckmeyer did not boot the ball away before it crossed the line. So victory have a set-piece opportunity. Milana Murphy will jog over and look for an in-swinging right-footed corner. See, Gilnick has gone and planted herself at the near post here, just to try and perhaps block the view of Milena Mires in the Melbourne City net. Here comes Murphy's corner, in-swinger to that near post. Gilnick header back into the 6-yard box. And then cleared away. Policina, Chidiac grabbed an arm. It wasn't subtle. I thought for a moment there that Georgia Ghirardello might have been reaching for the pocket again, but just a foul, no booking.
Interesting too from the corner. Victory players sending out 2 players. City, just the one. Often you'll see in set pieces look to go player for player there, but it was Policina doing a job.
Bosch up against Wilson, this duel which has captivated that side of the pitch all game. This occasion, victory have the numbers to clear. Rossbacken against Flannery now. And Rossbacken, well, Lowe knew exactly where the back pass was going. Wins it away. Gilnick, first time shots, and didn't dip it in time. Enterprising play from Rachel Lowe, though. Gilnick trying to find that finishing touch.
Well, twice in as many minutes, Victory have had a little bit of success down their right-hand side. And I'd say not quite having the numbers in the box. Oftentimes it's just Janchevski and Gilnick not too far away, or vice versa, and needing a little bit more in the way of victory numbers streaming forward. It's a good run from Rachel Lowe.
Newbond sends the ball out to Beattie Goad. Goad trying to sell Speckmeyer on the back pass. Finds Janchevski into open space. Chidiac's got a motor. Apostolakis always had a step advantage and was first to the ball. And number 43 today for 18-year-old Alexia Apostolakis. Beattie Goad looking for the throw-in. Gilnick tops the ball back to Chidiac. Alex Chidiac. Steered away from the attacking penalty area. Bunge. Janchevski to Chidiac once more. Goad. From a standing start. Tries to find a burst of acceleration against Speckmeyer. Players tumbling and then refinding their balance. Janchevski, right-footed cross, improvising, and plucked out of the air by Mires.
In the end, just a little too direct to Mires. Don't mind the idea from Victory there, looking for ball into a dangerous area. They did have a couple of numbers.
It's not very Melbourne City. The goalkeeper just pumping it long up to Lourdes Bosch, and it's worked out. So the element of surprise well and truly there, and a free kick now on an acute angle.
Maybe this might be a little bit more of what we start to see as this second half wears on and City are just chasing an equaliser. does veer away from their style of play, but perhaps they'll look to go more direct, to look for those long deliveries over the top.
Can't necessarily rule out a direct shot on goal here from the right-footed Policina, but again, it's Taylor Otto, Mariana Speckmeyer, Catherine Harvey, all waiting, potentially on the end of a free kick right here. Bosch, the left-footed option, is going to take the free kick. It's an outswinger onto the head of Morrison. Victory deal with the danger more than effectively. Janchevski goes for distance. Low, over the shoulder, heard the shout from Flannery. And now Flannery, the return pass for Low, but Riley Henry swept across to take the ball away. Davidson under pressure from Gielnik. Janchevski got a boot in. Ross back in. And with broken play starting to just recalibrate, players back in their more noticeable positions after that set piece. Harvey grabs another 5 metres. Melissa Barbieri, the backup keeper, doing the work on the bench. Trying to get back to Ross back in, trying to keep the tempo high. And Policina can't take possession of the ball. So we wind towards the hour mark. It might be decision time sooner rather than later on some substitutions. And we did hear in pre-game that Ellie Wilson had been affected by a groin injury in pre-season that had kept her out of the team last week, so maybe only had an hour on the clock. And she is replaced here by the American, Sarah D'Apollonia. D'Apollonia, who arrived in Australia with the Peninsula Power in Queensland NPL, and then was signed by Jeff Hopkins and Melbourne Victory last season to make her bow in the A-League Women's. 25-year-old American clocked up 22 games last season, and she comes on here as seemingly a makeshift right back.
Yeah, not entirely dissimilar to where she played last week, D'Apollonia. Turned 25 just a few days ago, so I'm sure she'll be looking for a good birthday performance this afternoon, but I think that's an important substitute. Ellie Wilson worked hard recovering from that injury, and D'Apollonia, fresh legs, bit of energy. I wonder too if Victory will just start to try to manage this game and dictate the tempo on their own terms.
Bosch in the midfield this time. Goad repelling for Victory. He's got Chidiac on the outside, but wants to try and thread through Flannery. Kostelakis made the intercept. Underhand pass from Otto. Seized upon by Gielnik. Bunge. Otto coming in to make amends. Tough challenge. Bosch, an ambitious pass, and Beatty Goad will head it back to her goalkeeper Newbon. So that takes us up to the hour mark with still no change to the halftime score. As things stand, Victory would be levelling the Derby tally at 9 wins apiece. Janchevski sees the underlapping run of Chidiac. Chidiac on a tight angle is going to go for it. And it flashes through the penalty area. Always difficult to score on that sort of an angle as a left footer.
Tough shot to get away for Chidiac, who had streamed forward. And again, Victory just lacking numbers in the box where they need some support. We cast our mind back to the Janchevski goal. That came from a cutback from Flannery, so really allowing players time to get into the box, the late arrival. But we haven't quite seen that into the second half.
Harvey and D'Apollonia doing battle. Henry's header, just a pop-up up and under. Victory will have the throw. Morrison squeezes the ball over to Goad. Goad never hits the long ball there. It's not going to have enough on it to roll out of play, so Mirez roams out to take possession. Marcus. Chidiac. Now Davalonia. Flannery, a clever little touch on towards Chidiac, but Leah Davidson was right there on her case. Bunge under pressure as she paid the pass, and it's going to spill into midfield. Low to go. Vickery owning possession in the last couple of minutes, able to make meaningful progress against the City defence, and now the counter-attack is initiated by Laura Hughes. Bosch in midfield. Closed down by the backtracking Chidiac. That has been noticeable. Oh, the shallow back pass here. Bosch is in! Bosch! A gift for Melbourne City, and a first Ninja A-League goal for Lourdes Bosch. And even though Victory may have been on top, an unexpected twist.
On the Harvey Norman replay, it's an awful back pass by Claudia Bunge, and she knows as well. When she punches into the earth, it puts her keeper into a really difficult position, but ready to pounce and ready to poke away into the back of the net is Lourdes Bosch. Opportunistic, as every good striker should be. She levels the terms here at Amy Park. The Melbourne derby is well and truly alive.
And the college player from California Baptist University and then the University of Nevada in Australia on her first senior pro contract. Much like Julia Grosso last season, a Melbourne City scouting success story out of the US college system, overlooked by the American pro leagues, but Lourdes Bosch is off the mark in City Blue. And the game is level. Low. Well, free kick right at the edge of the box. Melbourne Victory will have a very dangerous chance at an instant reply, and there's a yellow card as well for the foul.
Well, right on the edge of the 18-yard box here. I imagine it will be the likes of an Alana Janchevsky or Chidiac to take. It's just the linking of the arms there, you can see. Here, just the grab of the hand there, just enough to say that that slowed down Rachel Lowe from Apostolakis. And Mirez will have some work to do in setting up a really solid wall, getting numbers behind the ball. But this is a really prime opportunity for Victory.
So we've seen Kayla Morrison score direct free kicks. Alana Janchevsky has a mean left foot. M. Gielnik doesn't want to leave the scene. I think they might have to draw lots here to determine exactly who gets this prime opportunity to try and put Victory back in front.
Well, any of these three players standing over the ball, very capable. Alana Janchevsky, well, you mentioned it, Tao. She's got a mean left foot. It might be her.
I hear Elise Kellon Knight's hand is up on the sideline as well, but here we go. Who has won the battle? Will it be Chidiac, Gielnik? It's going to be Janchevsky, and it takes a big deflection. Catherine Harvey gets the congratulations because the wall did its job and sends the free kick behind for a corner.
Yep, positioned well and exactly where the wall needed to be. Catherine Harvey does a good defensive job. And at that kind of range, a little ricochet like that, a deflection can go anywhere.
Pressure not off yet for City. Murphy honing in and putting it on the roof of the net. And you just hear a couple of screams and shouts there from the Melbourne City defenders. They're happy that they've stood up on that big goal line stand and made sure that they didn't immediately gift the lead back. But what a fascinating final third of the game or so we're heading into.
Just little moments like that where momentum can swing, and City have managed to hold out. They scored and they've defended a set piece well. Might just give them the little kick they need, the little boost to take into the latter ends of this game.
Well, you don't want a team that builds a reputation for falling behind, but there's nothing wrong with it being a team that has a reputation for coming back, and that is exactly what City are trying to do for the second game in a row to start this new season. Henry's throw. Murphy. Swing back out. Interesting that City have held firm on not making any substitutions. They have found an equaliser without turning to the bench. Melbourne Victory just the one change, which we suspect was dictated by fitness rather than game state. Gilnick here. Underhit pass. Davidson can turn and go. Leah Davidson waiting for Bosch. Bosch clips it into the box. Policina round the corner. And Newbon still took a touch. And what's the decision here? Goal kick corner. It's a corner.
I really like this play here from City. First time pass, first time shot from Policina. I love that she's taken that on the first time of asking. Really tough to defend against, running across your defensive line like that.
I'm a little confused there. I think that if Newbon has touched it, it's a goal kick first, as the ball may have already been over the line. Anyway, referee's decision is final. Corner kick coming up for Melbourne City. Policina hangs it high. Morrison set herself in a hard one-header. And then Rachel Lowe volleys on, bending out towards the line. It's going to just stay in, and Lowe has done very well to run onto her own clearance. Murphy. Janchevsky. Murphy heard the shouts of teammates that Speckmeyer was right behind her.
That's better under pressure there from Victory, receiving the ball, passing to the correct side of the body, helping each other out. Just need to secure possession if they want to stay in this game.
Solid body check from D'Apollonia on Bosch. Referee wasn't going to let it slide. Here's another look at the free kick. And Melbourne City are going to make a double change. Letitia McKenna, as you flagged, Grace, one of the subs, and TJ Vlanich is coming on as well. And interestingly, it's last week's hero, Rihanna Policina, that makes way. And Briley Henry is coming off as well. So this might prompt a positional switch for a number of players. It looks as though Carly Rossback may be moving over to right back, as the naturally left-footed TJ Vlanich will probably play on the left. And Melbourne Victory have made a substitution of their own. Young striker Ella O'Grady is coming on. And Melbourne City's free kick. Harvey round the corner. McKenna was involved straight away. We'll be ticking to the final 20 minutes with the game still tied up at 2-2.
Have a look over the next couple of moments of the changes. We can see Letitia McKenna wearing the number 6 for City. Pretty much just a exact swap positionally for Policina. TJ Vlanich, yep, in that left full-back position, shifting Rossback and over to more of a centre half. But Vlanich, we know, as much as she is a defensive player, loves to get forward, has a great left foot. That pass a little less so.
Bunge will be determined to make amends. Alani Janchevsky was the player that came off for Ella O'Grady, and she might be involved straight away. Flannery, well, trying to cut back for Gilnick instead, as O'Grady broke towards the 6-yard box. Apostolakis made a key intercept.
I spoke about Victory needing more numbers arriving in the box for those kind of crosses, and Ella O'Grady is certainly a player who will put in the hard yards to get there. Super quick.
Beatty Goad is going to pick up a yellow card here for knocking over Mariana Speckmeyer. The Victory players on cards have really been able to play within themselves and not walk the tightrope, so to speak, and Beatty Goad immediately apologetic there, wiping out Speckmeyer, but still going into the referee's book. So 3 new faces into the game for the last 20 minutes. Fresh legs for Melbourne City. Fresh ideas of Ella O'Grady for victory. Chidiac pressing right up to Apostolakis. Otto through midfield traffic. Hughes has got Bosch making space on the left, and that's where the ball goes. Dapolonia immediately over to Bosch. He doesn't want to give her any room at all. Bunge. Gilnick brings the ball down. Dapolonia. Straight onto the head of Davidson. Now McKenna. Trying to send it out to the left, but Dapolonia was in the right place. Picks out a nice pass to Chidiac, and Chidiac is late. And Apostolakis already on a yellow card. He's wise perhaps to leave the scene. The fans have woken up to this, and Georgia Ghirardello is just going to have a talking to. Talk about walking the tightrope, case in point.
Yeah, I was about to say exactly the same thing. I think Apostolakis is really lucky there. Nursing a yellow already.
Well, a red card either way could be a massive game changer with so much time left on the clock. That ball goes out for a goal kick, and it looks as though there's going to be more changes. Well, no, not changes. There's going to be the physio coming on here for Rachel Lowe. Didn't quite catch what the issue was that has left Rachel Lowe needing some attention, and some of the Melbourne City players are going to dash over to the bench. So this is almost like a strategic break with only a short burst left in the game. What do you think the powwow is over on the sidelines?
Well, we've seen a couple of changes in recent minutes as Flannery has a quick chat to Jeff Hopkins on the sideline, and really the question for either coach is, are they happy with the point for the afternoon, or are they looking to throw a few numbers forward? And looking at the substitutions made, well, it's a balance of attacking players and defensive players who have come on.
Let's get some insight from ground level down to Neve Owens and Elise Kell on night.
It feels, KK, like this second half has really been a game of 2 halves. Melbourne Victory started strongly, but that goal's really changed the momentum.
100%. It's definitely changed the momentum. I thought Victory came out pretty good in the second half, but a simple mistake has kind of flipped the game on its head, and City are going into the second half of the second half a lot stronger.
So will that momentum continue, or with a little break here? So Rachel Lowe, who sprints right back on, could receive some treatment, be a little disruption that Victory need to get back on top in the game. And you raise a very interesting question, Grace. Will either side be happy with a draw? I suspect for now both will go for it. Chidiac looking to take the game on. Flannery hanging off the last defender, but the pass never came. Now Lowe, and now the pass to Flannery. First time ball, threatening, and looped out for a corner kick by Rossbacken.
Really, really good positioning there by Nikki Flannery. We had a great view to see her just working so hard to keep herself on side, checking across the line, holding her run, pausing, delaying. The ball eventually came, and again, it was that first time cross that can be really difficult to deal with as a defensive unit.
So Alex Chidiac will mark out her run up for a corner kick. Goalkeeper Milena Mires. Look at the bodies that are surrounding the keeper here. Chidiac is going to drop it right on top of the pack of players, and it's swiped away. Vlanic keeps it moving, only as far as Murphy, and it was almost driven into her own teammate there, Claudia Bunge. And Murphy will get another chance from wide on the flank. Able to sidestep away from McKenna. Murphy lifts it in. It sits up teasingly. Gilnick, strikers treading on each other's toes. And Gilnick prods it back out of the box. Almost had too much company there in Low as that ball sat up at the edge of the area. Now Dapolonia. Flannery. Morrison just goes for distance and roosts it high and out at the halfway line. Late contact from Bosch on low, free kick victory.
Coming into the league, Lords Bosch said that she wanted to make her mark here. I think fair to say this afternoon she's doing exactly that.
Flag up. Gilnick was offside. Joanna Chiraktis, the assistant referee. So moot point the eventual cross into the penalty area. Sophia Sakalis is about to join the list of players who have played for both teams in the Melbourne Derby. It's a short list. The likes of Laura Brock, Tegan Allen, Jenna McCormick, Emma Checker, Harriet Withers, and also players who've played in quite a few. Melina Ayres, 13 derbies. Amy Jackson, the all-time leader, 14 derbies, 6 for Melbourne Victory, 8 for Melbourne City. It's not a long list, and Sophia Sakalis about to be added to it. Back pass here. Otto had to be composed under pressure. Turned the ball around the corner to Vlanic. Vlanic looking to drive forward with the pass. Harvey, difficult ball to control. Morrison. Murphy, promising pass if the flag stays down for O'Grady and Mires. Sharp off the line, good goalkeeping to get the ball away and nearly turned defence into attack. The whistle interrupts Speckmeyer. Just wonder what the ball is coming back for.
I mentioned just moments earlier, O'Grady is quick to chase down those sorts of opportunities.
We've already seen one returning Victorian player score for the club they grew up supporting. Sophia Sakalis, like Alani Anchevsky, comes on here, replacing Emily Gilnick, looking to make that sort of an impact. And Melbourne City are going to respond in kind. It's a club debut for Amelia Murray. The former captain of the young Matildas is coming on here for Catherine Harvey. She had an injury-cursed season last campaign, Grace. Scored in round 1, but ultimately only ended up playing 3 games for Adelaide United, and now she's on for a first look in Melbourne City colours.
Well, really, really pleasing to see Amelia Murray back out on the pitch. Earmarked as such a bright young prospect, but hasn't just had the consistency of time, minutes. You've mentioned there the injuries. So you hope here at City she can stay fit, get a few more minutes in her legs, and we can see exactly what she's capable of.
And on the ball straight away here, has been given 10 minutes to go out and try to score the winning goal. Foster Larkis plays it back to Mires. Look at the energy from Ella O'Grady to chase the ball, but it's cleared away successfully. Vlanic hits it high and long. Morrison read it best in the air and safely back to Newbon.
Such a strong part of Kayla Morrison's game, her aerial threat. Not the tallest player on the park by any measure, but really good timing, really good awareness.
Newbon clears. Hughes blocked by Lowe. Nothing going over on the right flank for Laura Hughes, so wheeling back and playing to Apostolakis. Left behind by McKenna. Chidiac there to capitalise. Not much on ahead of the ball though, and McKenna, well, agriculturally in on Chidiac, landed on it. That exacerbated the contact that sent Chidiac to the ground, but no whistle. And now McKenna. The fans didn't like it. The ball is still live. And now the referee whistles play dead so that Alex Chidiac can receive some attention.
Certainly not the first time that Chidiac has received a bit of close attention here, and just that really heavy landing through the back from McKenna makes it a bit of an awkward one.
Rachel Lowe was also knocked and is looking a bit proppy. Chidiac still being treated. Melbourne Victory have just Rosie Curtis left on the bench, but if I'm not mistaken, I think they've made all 3 subs in different windows. So that might be that for the day, if I am not mistaken. City made a double change when they brought on McKenna and Vlanich, so in theory they can still bring Kira Myers on. Lowe just testing out that left ankle. Jeff Hopkins and Gareth Turnbull, who we heard from at half-time. What are they brainstorming to try and find a winner? Chidiac is back up on her feet next to the fourth official to return to the game, and it's going to be a drop ball and Melbourne Victory possession at the restart. Sakalis playing it through for O'Grady. Oh, and it's looping towards an own goal. It just goes over the bar. Luck's a fortune for TJ Vlanich.
So instantly the hands to the head from Vlanich. A moment of panic and a sigh of relief. I think that picture says it all.
Oh, she's checking her heart rate there, Grace, and why not? Because that looked like it was going to loop in for an own goal.
I mean, ultimately she had to kick it. She had to make a contest to the ball. But that big sigh of relief.
Vlanich, who made her debut in the very first Melbourne derby back in 2015. Referee giving a talking to here. Chidiac has dropped one corner on top of the pack of players. Only recently, Mirez was able to rise above all and bat it away. Will it be something similar here? Chidiac right into the teeth of goal once more. Morrison against Otto, and the two Americans battling in the air. And Otto won't mind that it's a goal kick. Morrison says it should have been another corner.
Well, good challenge at the far post. Both players getting up well, and I think Kayla Morrison perhaps had a fair argument to make.
Mirez with the clearance. Morrison right back on duty in defence. Rossbacken moved over to right back since the Vlanich substitution. Kostelakis sits up in midfield. McKenna volleys on. Speckmeyer was off and running, anticipating the pass. Speckmeyer! Will that be the derby winner? Mariana Speckmeyer, who started the scoring, may just have had the final say. It's a double for the Venezuelan and a 3-2 lead for Melbourne City.
Well, it was wonderful, wonderful vision over the top on the Harvey Norman replay. This ball, this first-time pass from McKenna, was sublime. And Mariana Speckmeyer, 1-2 touches, makes no mistake. Uses her physicality really well, gets her body in front and pierces the heart of the Victory defence. It's an unnerving finish. And a huge one for Melbourne City.
And it's not just the pass, Grace, it's that Speckmeyer backed McKenna to play that ball. She was often sprinting before McKenna had even thought about playing the ball over the top. She really anticipated it so brilliantly.
Well, it's that almost instinct of a good striker, and certainly Speckmeyer has that in her locker. Lovely, lovely goal.
And now Victory, time is precious as they chase another equalising goal. Both teams have led and coughed it up in this game. It's been a seesaw battle. Speckmeyer, second double of her Ninja A-League career, scored a double against Canberra back in January of this year when she was at the Wellington Phoenix. Murray knocks the ball back to Rossbacken. Carly Rossbacken, of course, a capped Matilda, went to the 2019 World Cup, is just trying to put together a full season after 3 really wretched years with injury. She's marshalling the defence now in these dying stages. Plenty of Victory firepower still out on the pitch. Chidiac. And now Beatty Go drops the shoulder, slides it low to Sakalis. Was the long shot on. Sakalis now gets across away. Morrison's been thrown forward. Flannery waits for the volley and skies it.
Well, to answer your question, I thought the long shot was on there for Beattie Goad. She did really well just to fashion half a yard of space for herself. It looked like she was winding up to take it as well, but so unselfish is Beattie Goad. Lays it off, but it was tight spaces. And Nikki Flannery with a chance that's gone begging. A little shake of the head to no one else but herself.
Rossbacken blocked once. O'Grady diving in with the slide challenge, spilled the ball. Chidiac and Sakalis not able to link up. Hughes. It's been a 90-minute combatant out there for City's cause. Now Davidson. And Amelia Murray waiting for the pass to arrive. Davidson just put it straight onto the feet of Morrison. Don't be surprised if we see Kayla Morrison thrown forward again. This time she's just going to drive the ball forward herself, right to the edge of the attacking third. Away goes O'Grady, first time cross into the near post. And Apostolakis shapes the ball away. City with numbers back. Murray and Murphy as we tick into the final 2 minutes of regulation. Victory get the throw.
It's been a fairly transitional second half. A lot of back and forth.
And Victory want to be the last one to have fourth, but it's Murphy here straight onto the goalkeeper's dive.
We mentioned at halftime at Victory taking the lead into the break that had 2 shots on target and they found 2 goals. Well, that stat hasn't changed across the course of this second half, yet to register a shot on target to challenge the goalkeeper into this second 45 minutes Melbourne victory.
Chidiac scragged, fouled by Hughes. And I feel like this moment's been coming for some time. Laura Hughes gets a yellow card. And well, she's protesting that her own shirt was grabbed. Time is of the essence for Victory, though. 60 seconds until we find out how much stoppage.
Well, ever the competitor, Laura Hughes. She's toiled hard in the middle of the park, and that battle between her and Chidiac and Lowe at times has been a physical one.
Can Alana Murphy find a free kick to create some panic in the City defence? He's going to drive it. Ramirez has come out, and Rossbacken can't clear. It deflects off Ramirez. And now back in from Goad. Chidiac, a little half-volleyed shot. It's pinballing around in there, and eventually off O'Grady. That is going to bounce down and be keeper's ball. Anything was possible there, but ultimately City got the luck of the bounce. Given away by Murray. And now Morrison is going to shoot from distance. The eyes lit up for Kayla Morrison, but sliced it away.
The idea was right for Morrison. Ramirez just slightly off her line, and Morrison hit that one well. You mentioned it, but we've seen now Kayla Morrison, captain, pinching up right on the edge of the 18-yard box, and look at those Victory players lining up.
Into 5 additional minutes we go. Morrison was pressing the keeper all the way up there. Bunge. That's for Dapolonia. You can see how desperately Victory are going to chase this equaliser. And will that leave the door ajar for the counter-attack? Hughes biding her time, waiting for Bosch. And now Bosch with runners in the middle. No thoughts of going to the corner. Bends it towards Bunge. Sakalis pops it on for Chidiac. Chidiac with midfield space to roam. Runners breaking on both sides. Chidiac will drive forward and use O'Grady now. O'Grady, first time ball. Rachel Lowe round the corner. Out for a goal kick.
Really good chance for Victory. Good early ball in from Ella O'Grady, who has worked hard since coming on. See her doubled over. The shape of that delivery is perfect. Rachel Lowe arrives and gets the shot away on the first time. It's a tricky one, a tight angle, and she's got Taylor Otto for company.
You feel like there might still be one more big chance, maybe 2. There's time on the clock for Victory as they throw everything in an equaliser here. Ball skims on. Bosch, a danger against Bunge. Ran straight into the tackle of the Kiwi international defender. So Newbon from the last line of defence launches long. Morrison now playing as a makeshift centre forward. Flannery commits a foul. Vlanic, a wily veteran, able to win the free kick.
City will slow things down here, not for the hurry up. They look to make one last change for the afternoon.
They did have this substitute up their sleeve, and they're going to make it now. Lourdes Bosch comes off after scoring her first Ninja A-League goal. And 17-year-old Kira Myers on for a 10th career A-League appearance. And will come on looking to stretch the field on the counter, maybe with the instruction to take the ball down to the corner, should the chance present. It's going to run out for a goal kick here. There's the 2-goal star of the day. Mariana Speckmeyer. Will her second goal prove the winner?
Well, Lourdes Bosch can be really pleased with her performance this afternoon.
Ball skims on. Flannery, low making ground in the middle. And Apostolakis able to get there in time and boot the ball away. Sakalis, Flannery, Morrison tried to outfox Otto. Chidiac charging through. Play continues. Davidson and Morrison. Morrison, free kick given at the last. Just when it looked like the Victory captain was ready to take aim.
Felt like it was building for Victory. Just a little clip, but extra numbers forward, and see Jeff Hopkins' side just throwing everything at it.
Goad, Murphy. Last minute stuff now for Victory. Flannery, Vlanic took the ball and the player, left Flannery prone. And TJ Vlanic really well defended for City there. And Flannery is still down. Time is Victory's enemy here. After 90 minutes of hard running, getting wiped out like that was the last thing Flannery needed.
It was a well-timed challenge by Vlanic. Flannery had Rachel Lowe just inside. I thought she was going to hit the pass on that first touch. Showed the experienced campaigner in TJ Vlanic just a little too much of the ball.
Vlanic is going to prevail again here, wins the free kick. Well, what a substitution that's proven to be. Vlanic has come on and really, other than the heart-stopping moment of almost slicing in an own goal, has won all the other big moments. And that is going to take this game to the end of the 5 additional minutes. Will Victory have any more time to try and win the ball back? Vlanic goes for distance. A header from Murphy. Now or never for Victory. It's cleared away by Otto. Melbourne City win the first derby of the Ninja A-League season. Mariana Speckmeyer, the 2-goal hero. Her goal started and finished a seesawing game where both sides led and trailed. But it's Melbourne City who come out on top with the last goal in 5. Super entertainment in the Ninja A-League, nothing less than you would expect. And these two rivals, two potential contenders, have turned on a show this Saturday afternoon. Handshakes and amicable between the gaffers at full time, but Melbourne City will be chuffed with what they have done here, trailing at halftime and coming back to go 2 from 2 on the season with a big win. All over at AAMI Park. Melbourne Victory 2, Melbourne City 3. Let's go to the post-game show. Neve Owens, take it away.
Teo Palizzeri, Grayscale, thank you so much. What an incredible derby we've had here at AAMI Park this evening. 5 goals. Elise Kellon night. You told me Melbourne Victory were going to win this 3-1. You got the goals, just not exactly how you predicted. There was an intensity, plenty of niggle, plenty of physicality. What did you make of that one?
Everything that we wanted in the derby, we got today. And I think it's on theme for what this A-League women's season has given us so far. I think it's 5 goals per game. I mean, outside of last night's game, 0-0 draw. But it's goals, 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 and it's exciting. There's, ebbs and flows to the game. It's competitive, it's physical, and I mean, what more can you want when you come down to watch live? You get to witness all this, and it puts you on the edge of your seat.
Let's have a look at the Harvey Norman highlights then and see how it all played out, because it was Melbourne City who got this game off to the perfect start, really, and it was their new signing doing pretty cool things.
Yeah, Bosch was so great today. She was one of the best players of the match, definitely. Ultimately hasn't won the award, but we'll get to that later. But how she was able to kind of turn our defence inside out. And then Speckmeyer as well. She had such a great game. She just joined us here at the desk. So, but I think some of the highlights here, as you can see, Gilnick using her physicality, coming up this penalty, taking away, bring it to 1-1 for the first half. And again, like we said in the halftime chat, the challenge was clumsy, but clinical from the spot. Gilnick is guaranteed to score them. I probably would have picked her to go left, so that's a bit unusual. She actually went right. And just before half-time, Flannery, this is so typical of what we've seen from her this season. Amazing crossing ability and finding her partner in crime from the other flank. Janowski coming in and slotting that away with her weaker foot. It was such a great finish.
That feels like such an important part of Melbourne Victory's game plan this season, having Nikki Flannery on one edge and indeed Janchevski on the other, and that really good delivery into the box.
Yeah, and then it was unfortunate for Bungie to make this mistake because the game was really on edge. I thought Victory came out in the second half with quite control of the game. I didn't think there was going to be a goal conceded or scored for quite some time, maybe not into the end of the game, but that really opened up. I mean, you can't make